Welcome to News Desk with me, Mamiesi Thompson. In the next hour, driver shot and a number of trucks banned by suspected terrorists on the Burkina border with Ghana. Farmlands in parts of the Upper East region already being lost to flood waters resulting from the spillage of the Bagri Dam. We have details as NADMO advises farmers and community dwellers to stay away from the water body due to uncertainty in water levels. And from our election headquarters today, Vice President Dr. Bawumia optimistic of securing overwhelming victory for his loyalty, dedication and sacrifices for the NPP. More in our build-up to the party's Super Delegates Congress. Details of these and more, including business news updates in this edition. Don't go away. Let's dig in now. A number of trucks carting foodstuff from Niger to Ghana have been burnt at the Burkina Faso border by suspected terrorists. Driver of the lead vehicle is responding to treatment after being shot in the attack. Before now, several drivers have died in similar attacks, with over 10 Ghanaian trucks being burnt. Nanaya Aljima of our foreign desk has more in the following report.
The Doli route into Burkina Faso from Niger has been abandoned by long-distance trucks following heightened activities of terrorists in the area. Videos available to JoyNews show many trucks burnt at the border by terrorists earlier this year.
In Burkina, at first we was passing there, and there was a Boko Haram over there. They burned our cars, so many, about 15 cars with onions. And we diverted to Benin.
Niger supplies Ghana with onions, beans, potash, cowhide, and local tea, popularly known as attaya. Following the closure of the Benin border as a result of the ECOWAS sanctions against Niger, some drivers have had to consider other options. The Dambala enterprise owns 35 trucks, which have often been involved in carting food from Niger. For many days, some of the trucks have locked up in Niger. According to Massaoudou Dambala, one of their vehicles opted for the Doli route, which is less preferred due to security concerns. The trucks broke security protocols after their inability to secure military escort to cross the border for many days.
They were standing there waiting for combine escort, yeah. So they were waiting for it, and then the escort is not coming. So one of the cars, that one is not our car, decided to follow the road. So when he succeed, so the rest they say, okay, they too will try their best and see. So immediately they start going there. Those jihadist people come out, try to stop them, they refused, not knowing that there are plenty people there. So they started to start to shoot them. So they stopped, some of them stopped, and some of them go back. And then even some drivers leave the cars and run away. So our car is in front. So when they reach there, they burn the car. The car take like 450 bags of beans. So they burn the car. And then the case is they shoot the driver, but now the driver is alive. So they burn the car, and then they burn like 3 or 4 cars. So the rest turn back and go to Niger.
So where's the driver now, and what's his condition?
Yeah, he's in Niger, but the condition is somehow better. So he's in Niger now.
One of the 3 affected trucks was carting onions bound for the Kwadaso market in Kumasi. All 330 onions in the affected trucks have rotten away after the vehicle was burnt. Massaoudou Mazu counts his loss. The leading truck was transporting beans, and the next one was transporting my onions. Those were the first to be attacked. They called me later to break the news to me. I couldn't ask them any further questions. Presently, the transport and import company, Dambala Enterprise, has closed operations to Niger. 15 of their trucks are locked up in the landlocked Niger. Masaudu Dambala is worried about the situation.
If you go to harbor, anything concerning Niger, you cannot take it. So it's only Burkina that you can cross. I can tell you that this is the amount that I'm losing. I can't tell. But if I tell you that this is this, I will lose this, no, I can't tell. The only thing is that I see that the business is rounding down.
Many food importers in Kumasi stand the chance of losing their investments if the situation continues. For JoyNews, Nana Ojima reporting.
The Ghana Railway Workers Union is this afternoon up in arms against the management of the company for its current state. According to the association, there's a huge debt hanging around the neck of the company, resulting in the non-payment of the state contributions of workers and other statutory payments of the staff. These were revealed by the Secretary of the Union, Godwin Intama, at the media engagement in Takrady.
Salaries go into 3 or 4 months arrears before some efforts are made to effect some payment. Again, SNAID payments are in arrears from October 2022 till date, which has compelled SNAID to take GRCL to court to enforce payment. The company is owing GCB Bank millions of cedis, while workers' Tier 2 payments have also not been settled since May 2022 till date. The limited liability company, to me, is useless because you can't have a limited liability company without shareholders. I don't know. If maybe I didn't go to school, so I don't know. But I have never heard of any limited liability company without shareholders. Ghana Railway Corporation moving to a limited liability was just a gimmick, I'm telling you. You see, we have sat down over the years and allowed politicians to play with the railway sector. And this is one of the results that we are seeing.
He laments that frantic efforts by the leadership of the union to engage President Akufo-Addo on the current situation has proven futile.
It will interest you to note that frantic efforts have been made by the leadership of the union to have engagement with the President of the Republic, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, to have interactions on the current situation facing GRCL, but all have proven futile.
Vice President Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia says the Phase 2 of the Tamale International Airport, which has been commissioned with more ancillary facilities, cost $70 million. This, according to him, is far cheaper than $130 million spent on Phase 1. The Vice President made this comparison at the commissioning of the Tamale International Airport in the Northern Regional Capital.
The Phase 2 of the Tamale International Airport is built with the state-of-the-art facilities, including terminal buildings with other ancillary facilities to complement the newly constructed runway for international aircraft operations. Project funded by the UK Export Finance and KfW PEX Bank of Germany at a cost of $70 million is expected to open the area to the rest of the world. The Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, commended the contractors and consultants using relatively limited resources to achieve big results.
Phase 2 of this project, which we are commissioning today, is consistent of a construction of an ultra-modern terminal building with 400,000 annual passenger capacity for both domestic and international operations, which is equipped with a state-of-the-art airport systems. The terminal comes with a 330 capacity car park. Also, part of this project is a 5-kilometer asphalt access road off the Tamale road to the new terminal building. In addition, we have a multi-purpose terminal building with the state-of-the-art equipment used for hard operations at the moment. And in addition, we have a bulk utility supply area, which is the technical area where all services such as electricity, water, wastewater treatment for the airport is managed from. All these 4 separate projects cost a total of $70 million. This compares to the $130 million of phase 1 for those 3 elements of that project.
The Minister for Transport, Kweku Ofori-Asiamah, said government's policy is geared towards establishing airports in all regional capitals, adding that feasibility studies have been completed for one to be sited either in the western or central region.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you may all be aware, government policy is geared towards development of airports in all regional capitals. It is within this framework that over the past couple of years, the aviation sector has witnessed significant development in infrastructure development and service expansion coupled with the implementation of government liberal skies policy. It is in line with this policy that the Kumasi International Airport Phase 2 and 3, which commenced in 2018, is about 35% complete, while the rehabilitation of the Sinyoni Airport has been completed and open for commercial operations. We are also pursuing the development of a new airport in either the western or central region or in between the 2 regions, for which the feasibility studies have been completed.
The British High Commissioner to Ghana, Harriet Thompson, said the project has the potential to open up the North's economical world to the rest of the world.
The thing that I love about this project is the potential that it brings to open up the North, to open up tourism to this wonderfully rich region, to open up agriculture, not just the production but the processing, and to get that processed food out across the world. So it's a wonderful day. I'm glad to be here. I'm proud of the partnership between UK and Ghana, between the private sector and government that has resulted in this wonderful airport, this wonderful facility now being available, and I'm excited to see how it's going to get things moving in the whole of the northern regions of Ghana.
The Northern Regional Minister, Shani Alhassan Shaibu, on his part, commended the Vice President for his role in the initiation of the project and many other projects in the North.
For the instrumentality and role he played in the initiation of this landmark project and its execution up to completion. Aside of the well-known significant national projects and programs His Excellency has been involved in the Northern region, the Northern region will forever be grateful to him for his immense role in such high-profile projects such as the Tamale interchange, the Tamale Road, the worldwide Tamale dualization, which is of course, this edifice that we are inaugurating today.
On your election headquarters today, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is touting his dedication and allegiance to the NPP, positioning himself as the suitable choice to lead the party. He pledges to carve a distinct path towards economic prosperity if chosen as leader. With the party's Super Delegates Congress just 3 days away, Samuel Mbura of our political desk sheds light on his candidacy.
He is an economist with experience at the central bank. He transitioned into politics and was the first to introduce a data-driven narrative in Ghana's political landscape, gaining trust among Ghanaians. His prominence peaked during the 2012 election petition.
Let us put down my analysis and show me one repeated polling station in my analysis. If you are afraid of the truth, then of course you will hide behind these exhibit numbers.
His father, Mumuni Bawumia, co-founded the Northern People's Party, with SD Dombo contributing to the birth of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, sparking arguments for the Dombo faction to lead the NPP, given the historical representation of Dankwa and Buzia.
They will be in trouble. They know we will break the gates. They know John Mahama cannot take me on in the north. I will beat him in the north. I will beat him in the north.
However, some contend that politics transcends tribal lines and prioritizes competence. His role in reducing the NPP's parliamentary deficit from over 80% to under 60% in the northern regions since 2008 is highlighted, making him a strong contender against NDC's John Mahama after the 2020 elections. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's candidacy garners extensive nationwide endorsements from both within and outside the NPP. Notably, Minister for Local Government and Rural Development, Dan Botry, is among NPP stalwarts supporting him. Based on my knowledge and experiences in the party, I have come to conclude that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is the right person who holds the future of this party. So please, I will urge all of you to come out together to vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is passionately underlining his dedication to the NPP, emphasizing he has never abandoned his responsibility.
I have sacrificed for the party. I have defended the party in good times and in challenging times. I have never wavered or slacked. Never.
He therefore assures that if elected, he will lead the country towards economic prosperity.
Together with you, I want to see a Ghana with an education system tilted towards STEM, robotics, artificial intelligence, digital and vocational skills to cope with the demands of the fourth industrial revolution.
Though several surveys predict a landslide victory for him, the Super Delegates Congress will be the litmus paper to test how strong his signal is to lead the NPP. For JoyNews, Samuel Mbura.
Meanwhile, royals from the 4 recognized gates of the Wala traditional area have thrown their weight behind flag bearer hopeful and Vice President Dr. Bawumia, urging delegates to vote massively for him in Saturday's conference. Now, according to them, among the 10 aspirants, Dr. Bawumia stands tall. Among all the given the opportunity, he'll be the one that can transform and stabilize the country's economy.
The press conference, which was held at Niriyangpong, a place reserved for the selection of a new overlord of the Wala traditional area, was attended by Nabihi or royals from all the 4 recognized gates in the Wala traditional area that are heirs to the Wala throne. According to the Wala royals, among the 10 competent, fine and respected gentlemen that have expressed their intention to put themselves before the special delegates of the New Patriotic Party NPP is one of their own and Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Governor Jamaldeen Adam Akpala read a statement on their behalf.
After a deep reflection and critical scrutiny of the aspirants, we have come to a firm conclusion that His Excellency Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is the man of the moment with the requisite qualification, experience, competence, appeals to the voters, temperament, vision, strategy to consolidate the gains made so far by the government of President Akufo-Addo in its march to transform the structure of the economy and accelerate the socio-economic development in today's technological and digitalized global setting. The country saw a steady economic improvement between 2017 and 2019 with pro-poor policies of free education, improvement in roads, health, agriculture, industry, employment for the youth. The challenges of COVID and other global issues have twisted this trajectory. The government is holding on, and a turnaround is envisaged. Given the chance, Dr. Bawumia will see this country through and put her on the course of economic transformation and stability.
Given the opportunity, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will put the country on the right track, transform the economy, and stabilize it. They averred that the vision and principles of the MPP and the Akufo-Addo government is in sync with that of the forebears of the Northern People's Party in pre-independence.
Alhaji Biki Adama Wala South, Jato Kaleo Wala North, SD Dombo, Jirapa Lambusir, Abaifa Kabo, Nora Nandong, Momunu Bawumia, South Mampusi East, CK Tedam, Kasina Nankana North, J.A. Brahma, Gonja East, Adama Amandi, Boku, Yakubu Tali, Tolona, Dagomba South, to mention a few. These were proud princes of the North, most of whom later in life ascended to traditional kings and continued to serve their people. This is what Dr. Bawumia brings. Leadership without discrimination and leadership with a vision to confront the challenges in contemporary times where technology and information shape the global economy. He has shown his mettle and capacity that, given a chance, he can harness this party's rich human capital to accelerate the party's transformation agenda to raise the fortunes of this country to take up Ghana's true place as the front runner in Africa's development.
They use the opportunity to also appeal to the aspirants and their supporters to be cautious and measured in their campaign to ensure a free, fair, and peaceful flag bearer election.
Whoever emerges as a flag bearer will need a united party in purpose to appeal to the general electorate to win the general elections. The next government will require all competent human resources to govern and bring development, stability, and peace to the people of this country.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafiq Salam. Wow.
Paramount Chief of the Pulima Traditional Area, Kuro Duwe Osman Nankpa III, has admonished members of the newly launched Young Urban Women's Movement to use tact and diplomacy to get work and rights shared at home. The Women Advocacy Movement was launched with the aim, among other things, equipping young women with skills, challenge inequality, as well as to influence policy discourse in their respective areas. Kuro Nankpa Osman, speaking at the launch of the movement, called on members not to be antagonistic in their approach to deals with using tact. JoyNews Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
The Young Urban Women's Movement is an organized group of young women across the country with the aim of empowering young urban women living in rural and urban areas in the country with skills to secure economic independence, control over their bodies, challenge inequality and discrimination. As a 2.5-year project and has been spearheaded by Akinade Ghana in the last 9 years. Head of programs Akinade Ghana, Justin Bayo, assured members of the newly launched Young Urban Women's Movement in the Upper West region to enable them succeed.
The group has now developed to be a movement on its own, working with about 6,500 young women between the ages of 15 and 35 across 5 cities in Ghana. These are in Accra, Tamale, Bolgatanga, Ho, Somenya, and Sunyani. And since you are the novel group for Upper West at the moment, all our eyes are on you, and we are going to focus all our attention within Action Aid to the young urban movement in the Upper West region. We will ensure that all the needed support is given to you. All established ones will give you all the support so that you can grow in terms of capacity and numbers.
National Chairperson of the Young Urban Women's Movement, Dr. Zuga, threw further light on what the movement is up to.
So we are saying that as Young Urban Women's Movement, our goal is to advocate, to talk, to empower young people. Even most of the young people within our communities don't even see it as work. Sometimes they themselves doing the work, they don't even see it as work. So we want to empower ourselves to recognize that the things we are doing at home, it's a work. We are not also saying we want to use force. It's all about how we will communicate well to our husbands, our brothers at home. And the movement is out to take us through all these strategies, how we'll be able to speak to our husbands and brothers to understand that the work we are doing is a work. When they are able to recognize that that is a work, you don't need to ask them to help you share the rules. They themselves will support, and that is why we are having 3 R's, which is first is to recognize. When they recognize, they would help us reduce it by redistributing.
Paramount Chief of the Poloma Traditional Area, Koroduwe Osman Nankpa III, lauded the launch of the Young Urban Women's Movement in the region. Yoruba was quick to add that the aims and objectives will not be achieved on a silver platter, calling on them to use tact and diplomacy.
If you get up and do gra-gra, the men will keep all the power to their chest. It is the usage of the tongue that can elicit what support you can get. If your tongue is honey-laden, you will get the best. If it's acid-laden and you can use it to lacerate the opposite gender, I can assure you, you will continue to be confined to where you've been since time immemorial. So please use your tongue well and continue to appeal to us.
Other key speakers at the launch was the Upper West Regional Director of the Social Welfare Department, Ilen Pele, and the Upper West Regional Director of Gender, Charity Bature, who chaired the launch.
But please, start small and grow big together. If you are already looking at the bigger picture, you'll be demoralized. But when you're able to convince just one person, it satisfies you, it gives you that joy that you've done something. The next time you go to 2, 3, 4, you are spreading. You are starting small by growing big together. Together, because if she is doing it, she is also doing it. The next person is doing it. We are penetrating gradually and we are growing big together.
Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam. Wow.
You're still watching JoyNews Desk. We'll be back with more news after this break. Welcome back from the break. Now let's head over to the Greater Accra Regional Police Headquarters, where the minority is meeting the police over their planned picketing of the Bank of Ghana premises over their incurred losses in the 2022 financial year. Samuel Mbura is there for us and has been monitoring the situation. Samuel Mbura, what have you been learning about this meeting?
See, we know that the minority in Parliament, in accordance with Section 1, 2, and 3 of the Public Order Act 1994, Act 419, has notified the police about their impending public protest that will be embarked next week in collaboration with some civil organizations and then well-meaning Ghanaians, they say. So the purpose of this protest is to express their revulsion against what they describe as illegal printing of money to the tune of over 80 billion Ghana cedis between 2021 and 2022 to the Akufo-Addo government. According to them, this singular act by the BOG has negatively impacted livelihoods and businesses and pushed over 850,000 Ghanaians into poverty in the year 2022 alone. So they say, as representatives of the Ghanaian people, the minority in Parliament is disgusted about the gross mismanagement and reckless handling of the affairs of the Bank of Ghana, which resulted in the over 60 billion Ghana cedis lost, which has a negative equity of 5.1 billion in 2022, according to them, thereby visiting hardship on the people of Ghana. So that is why they are currently meeting the Ghana Police Service ahead of this demonstration. So the demonstration is coming next week. That will be on the 5th of September. So they wrote to the police on the 21st, and this is actually a follow-up meeting. At the moment, they are in the crunch meeting with the Greater Accra Regional Police Commander, but the media is not allowed because it is an in-camera one. We're not allowed to film this in the precepts of the police, a reason we are outside the gate of the Ghana Police Service. So the agreed route is the frontage of Parliament through to Parliament House, Osu Cemetery, Traffic Light, Ministry of Finance, High Court Complex, Kimbu, Makola, Rawlings Park, Opera Square, Bank of Ghana, where they eventually picket there to demand the immediate resignation of the governor, the deputy governors, and the board of directors of the Bank of Ghana. So earlier I had brief conversations with the leader of the minority, Dr. Kesela Tufosi. He is not here himself, but we have lawyers of the party. I spoke briefly to Mr. Mahama Yarka, MP for Boku Central. I also saw James Agaga and other minority MPs going into that crunch meeting with the Ghana Police Service. So we are pitching camp whilst waiting for that meeting, and surely they will come and brief us what the outcomes are. But that is the main reason they are here, just a follow-up to the letter that they have written to the police notifying them about their pending demonstration against the governors of the Bank of Ghana. Mamiesi.
And we'll sure to update you when we learn of the outcomes of this meeting. Now, moving on, the Executive Director of Star Ghana Foundation, Ibrahim Tanko Amidu, says the organization will be focusing on security, volunteerism, and philanthropy in 2024. The aim, according to Mr. Amidu, is to enhance Ghana's socio-political development by providing support to civil society organizations. He made this known while speaking to journalists at the launch of the foundation's 5th anniversary event in Accra. There's more in this report.
Star Ghana Foundation is one of Ghana's active National Center for Active Citizenship and Philanthropy. Established in November 2018, the foundation transitioned from a 10-year multi-donor funded Star Ghana program with focus on the strengthening of Parliament and civil society to enhance transparency, accountability, and responsiveness in governance at local and national levels. As an influential CSO, the foundation has consistently and aggressively pushed for active citizenship participation at all levels of governance through various projects with the support of its development partners. At the launch of activities in commemoration of its 5-year anniversary, Executive Director of the Foundation, Ibrahim Tanko Amidu, said, Star Ghana is prioritizing 3 key thematic areas in the years ahead.
Star Ghana is actually coordinating the Northern Ghana Security Forum. That brings together the regional coordinating councils, the communities, traditional authorities, and etc. So that is the one area of our work. But the second is that Star Ghana is a center for active citizenship. So active citizenship, we have started promoting volunteerism. Currently, we are working to support or to enable people who want to volunteer to support community groups to be able to do so, and we'll be launching that next month. We are also going to provide support to civil society organizations who want to launch volunteerism initiatives at their level, so that citizens get connected to the development processes, that the spirit of volunteerism that gave us our independence, that helped us in the initial stages post-independence, will be able to rekindle the spirit of volunteerism.
Chairperson of the Governing Council of Star Ghana Foundation, Dr. Esther Ofei Abuaji, emphasized the crucial role the foundation plays in Ghana's democracy has become more vital in the prevailing socio-political and economic challenges in Ghana and the African continent at large.
For a role for an entity such as Star Ghana Foundation in Ghana, as well as in the sub-region, is required even more urgently now than before. Our pulse on the political, economic, and social developments in the country and West Africa suggests that the alienation of the citizenry from the processes that have been pursued as democracy is a real possibility. Therefore, actions that will amplify the voices of all sections of the population and identify opportunities for inclusive action and broadening platforms for participation and engagement are even more urgently required than before.
Chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, NCCE, Kathleen Adi, commended the foundation for its significant contribution to shaping Ghana's democracy, particularly in encouraging active civil participation at the community level.
Star Ghana, to be honest, has done a lot of great work in this country. They have supported big organizations, small organizations, mediums. They support a lot of organizations in doing particularly community work, which I'm very passionate about, because we need to, as citizens, to understand that our citizenship starts from the community. When we are good citizens at the community level, we will be good citizens at the national level. All of us, if we are active in the community, it will spread, and we will have a better experience at the national level as well. So Star Ghana has actually done a lot. And their vision for the future of developing philanthropy alongside active citizenship is also very important. Philanthropy meaning that getting people to donate to the foundation, getting people to commit to supporting the foundation, so that together we'll grow our country.
The foundation has lined up a number of activities to climax the 5th anniversary in November this year. A report filed by Carlos Galoni for JoyNews.
The European Union has announced 60 Ghanaian students selected to pursue the prestigious Erasmus Mundus joint master's degree in top academic institutions in Europe. The EMGMD is one of the initiatives under the Erasmus Education Scholarship, which supports international mobility and contributes to strengthening Africa's technical and higher education space. There's more in the following report.
The all-expenses-paid master's degree scholarship is a unique opportunity for students to broaden their career horizons, gain top-class knowledge, and develop global perspectives while studying in renowned European universities. The selection for the Erasmus plus Mundus joint master's degree is a highly competitive process, attracting numerous potential students from Ghana applying for the coveted opportunity. At a pre-departure event in Accra, the EU ambassador to Ghana, Erchad Razali, said the opportunity offered the successful applicants is one among the EU's commitment to its partnership with Ghana in education. Erchad Razali is confident that the scholarship will prepare the successful student for a competitive career.
So today we organized the stand-off event for the young Ghanaians who have benefited from Erasmus Plus scholarship. This is one of the most successful EU program in Europe and throughout the world. And this year I'm very happy and proud to see that we are sending 60 young Ghanaians to perform studies, undergraduate and graduate studies throughout Europe. This is so far the highest number of students that we are sending. Last year we have sent 45. We are very happy already, but today is very rewarding because these are new students, will discover Europe, will learn in the best university in Europe, and hopefully will make a contribution for their communities and for the country.
Some beneficiaries spoke to JoyNews. The EU says it is increasing investment in quality education and working with partner countries to strengthen cooperation on research and innovation.
How I landed this scholarship, I'll say that it was recommended by my friend. It was something global, so he sent me the link and I applied. They have their own criteria. I just followed. You put up your motivation and all that, so I did everything, and I was waiting on them to call me. So I was there one time in June and they texted me that I'm now a beneficiary of the scholarship, and I'm very glad. It wasn't that easy because there were a lot. I was once on a reserve list and I was later pushed to the main list. There's a whole lot. It has not been easy though, but in all, I just want to say I'm grateful to God too.
I got to know about Erasmus Mundus program online. It was, I think, a recommendation because of my past searches, right? So I got to know about it. Then I went through the entire master's programs they have. I read about what they were doing within those programs. Then I selected the ones I was interested in. I noted down their opening dates and then I incorporated them into my calendar. So whenever they open, I got an alert. Yes. Yeah, and then I realized you could apply to more. Initially, there was a cap on the number of programs you could apply to, but I realized there was more. Like you could apply to any amount, any number, right? So I applied to just two because I felt it wasn't really a good use of my time if I was going to do so many of them. So I applied to two and I got into one.
Karen Obing's report read to you.
It's JoyNews Desk. We'll be right back with business.
Hi, welcome to Business. My name is Darryl Kwao. As part of efforts to harness the opportunities in the non-traditional export sector, Fidelity Bank Ghana has launched the Fidelity Exporters Club with the signing of an MOU with the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, FAGE, an umbrella organization representing over 1,200 exporters and 22 sub-associations. Here's more in this report.
According to the World Bank, exports of goods and services as a percentage of gross domestic product in Ghana was 29.91% in 2021, indicating a positive effect of trade on the economy. Managing Director for Fidelity Bank Ghana, Julian Kingsley Opuni, expressed the bank's readiness to help strengthen the infrastructure required to give certainty around the growth of the sector.
In the past, banks are used to sitting back and formulating products off the back of the fact that we assume we know what they need. The idea of doing this is to work from the exporter back to the bank. What are their challenges? What support do they need? And so once we understand that, then the formulation of our products around even the interest that you will charge, around the term, how you structure loans, how you structure other support, then becomes a lot more relevant. And it's also not only about access to finance, it's about how we support them and get other partners to help support them in the regulatory environment, support for documentation, certification, etc.
President of the Federation of Association of Ghanaian Exporters, Nene Davis Koboe, called for the creation of a special funding for exporters in the agric sector in terms of interest rates payment.
We are looking at creating another niche market for ourselves, because if you talk about agric, you can't use the same interest rate for commerce against agribusiness, and that is exactly what we've been doing, saying all this year, that if we can create another funding to take care of it. So we are looking. I know currently the likes of the MasterCard Foundation is doing 10% for Barclays. We are looking at Fidelity doing between 7 to 9% for our club.
Some exporters who spoke to Joy Business say they are optimistic The partnership will create a significant impact in the sector.
This partnership is a difference between night and day. At least it's the beginning of seeing light in this system, because no bank has come up and signed up with exporters wanting to know what they do, so that together we can solve it, because what we export affects everybody, including all of us standing here.
I'm very happy today to be part of this event. It's a historical event in the sense that the bank has made a move, not only to show interest in exporters' activities, but to give concrete help and assistance and support, which is something that we have lacked for quite a while.
The Fidelity Exporters Club is in collaboration with the Development Bank Ghana.
Now, players within the network marketing industry are calling for more sensitization programs to support the space. According to them, this would clear the misconception of many describing the operations as fraudulent. According to one-star director at Long Ridge, Ghana, Canadian Marco, the business can contribute to job creation. He spoke to Joy Business.
Basically, there is a serious deficit in sensitization and then education. It's time as a nation we come together and talk about the business of network marketing. My wife, for example, had to talk to me about network marketing for 6 solid months. But what brought me into it is when I used the product and I realized that the product was good and was worth continuing to use it. As I was using it, I was getting some little commissions. It wasn't nothing to write home about. But it at least tells a story that if I open up and get better education, I can do it bigger. In fact, gone are the days where people carry products on their head, go around and sell. Network marketing is far away from that. About illegality is far away from that. But there's a thin line between network marketing and Ponzi schemes and scams. So if you open up yourself, open up your mind, get educated, I think we can all get to embrace it, understand it, and spread the news better.
And that's all in business. The news continues after the break.
Welcome back. Now, farmlands and livelihoods are at a risk in the Upper East region as ripple effects from the spillage of the Bagri Dam in Burkina Faso beginning to have a toll in the area. Sonabel, the dam's operators, alerted Ghanaian authorities about the spillage a week ago. Now, despite not being the usual annual spillage period, the overflow from tributaries to the Bagri Dam has already damaged farmlands along the Boku and Talensi districts. We'll be bringing you more on the Bagri Dam spillage in later bulletins. Thank you for watching. I am Amesi Nyamiche Thompson. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com.